Brian, a solid run by RCR, team in general, but just talk about your team's run today and just coming up a little bit short for the win.
Yeah, I was proud of our team. Everybody at RCR in the body shop and ECR in the engine shop did a great job. We were able to capture the top 3 qualifying positions, which is a testament to them. When we made the switch back to the qualifying of old days, you really let the guys back at the shop their work be highlighted. So proud of them for that. And then all day we had a really strong car. We were able to stay in the top 10. I felt like every time we got out front, we just weren't quite fast enough. I kept trying to ask my pit crew to put some more tape on it to try to get us a little slicker so we could lead a little better. But the Fords just seemed really strong, and they were hard to hold off. They worked really well together, and seemed like they were able to go to the front most of the time, any time that they wanted. But proud of how hard we fought. We were able to stay in front of the wrecks all day, which is what our game plan was coming in. And, at the end, we worked a little bit with our teammate Austin and just got a heck of a run. I actually thought we were doomed when the top 4 broke away, and me and the 98 were side by side, a couple car lengths back. But when J.J. Yaley, the 28, got to me and gave me a shove, I was able to start really sucking off of those top 4 and got a great run off of turn 4 and put it to the outside and tried to make something happen. I didn't know if I was going to go backwards from there or not, but able to pass a couple cars and finish second. So all in all, it was a great day for us. These restrictor plate tracks last year, really my whole time at RCR, have really kind of been our Achilles heel. They always seem to bite us. We always seem to end up wrecked more times than we end up, with a podium finish. So proud of that and proud of just persevering today.
And we've also been joined by our third-place finisher, Austin Dillon, driver of the number 33 Reen Bass Pro Chevrolet. And Austin, for you, a solid run, and anything you can take into tomorrow's race?
Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, these cars drive quite a bit different than tomorrow's cars, and the differences of being able to move through the pack at ease is just not there like it is in this series. It's fun to get out there in these cars because you feel like if you move to the middle or the top, you can get up there. I was sitting like 12th on that last restart, and we were in second like lap 2 of that restart, and it was it was fun. Had a blast right there, and it was a testament to RCR, ECR, Chevrolet. I mean, we had strong cars. I wish Brian I thought Brian was going to have that momentum enough to get to him at the end, or if I should have pulled up. I didn't. Andy did. We just didn't get there in time. But it was fun. Had a blast, and tomorrow I think making it to the end is going to be the most important part.
All right, we'll go ahead and open for questions for Brian or Austin. If you have one, please state your name and affiliation, and we'll start with Stan.
Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com. Brian, when you compare the final laps of this event against any other event in your career, how demanding were the final 2 laps of this event?
Physically it's not that demanding. It's a lot like a chess match. You're just so careful not to put yourself in a bad spot because you can make one bad move and you can go from a top 4 or 5 position to 10th real quick. And I've done that before. I've been in a good position at the end of the race and went to the bottom or something thinking that was the right play and it not work out. So at least I feel like I'm getting smarter at the end of these things to be able to make moves and gain positions. But yeah, it's just most demanding on the spotter. There's a lot of talking. A lot of times you don't even know that you've gotten a white flag. You're just focused on what you're doing and then trying to make sure that you move up, block, and do the right thing with runs.
All right, we'll go to Kenny.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com. The big incident when we had a bunch of the guys coming to pit road under green to pit and everybody got all crazy there. Or either of you guys have any idea what caused that? What happened to create that situation?
I don't. I was working. I was trying to lead the outside line up there, so we couldn't pit on that lap anyways, even if we wanted to. And then they pulled off, and Austin, I think, was on the bottom, and he decided he was going to stay out another lap or so with us. And, it was just luck, I guess. Luckily we weren't on that pit strategy, and
good
they
fuel
all right
mileage.
Behind us. Yeah, good fuel mileage. That's exactly right.
Worked out right. I looked in the mirror after that, and I was just happy because me and Brian were sitting 1-2. I was like, this is going to be real good. And we were talking before the race, and we both said, man, it's an awesome feel when it's not an awesome feeling. It's because you feel bad for the other guys, but when they say wrecking behind you, it's like, you know, you just take a breath and you made it through that one at least.
There's no greater feeling on a super speedway when you look up in your mirror and you see smoke and you're not any part of it. You're just cruising out and you're going, okay, phew, missed that one.
All right, we're going to go upstairs for a question, then we'll come back downstairs and go to Chris Knight. Go ahead upstairs.
This is Jay Pennell with Fox Sports. Austin, you said on the pit road that you had cut your wrist. Just what happened with that, and how bad is the cut?
I think I was just on the steering wheel that hard. I don't know if it was rubbing against my suit, but I laid my wrist on the steering wheel, and you're kind of set and trying to be real smooth right there, and I think it was just kind of rubbed it raw. It's nothing, just a little scrape.
All right. We've also been joined by our fifth place finisher, driver of the number 52 Donate Life Chevrolet, Joey Gase. And Joey, an incredible run for your team today. In your Fox interview, you talked about what a big deal this is to come home fifth place. So just tell us a little bit about your day.
Thanks for the push at the end too. That was awesome.
No problem. It was an incredible day. It was a long weekend. We only got 30 minutes of practice. We had nothing but problems. Qualified 39th. And we ended up fifth after getting in a wreck and had no water in the motor and radiator, had to put cool down on it, and we made it back up. But like I said, it's pretty insane to be up here right now with these two. We're a small team. I don't have a PR person. You always contact me.
Here's your chance. Promote yourself.
But, we just got to thank Donate Life and DB Sales and Jimmy. It's for so many people getting me here. What we get for the entire year is what a top team gets for one race, and we're standing up here. So we're just hoping someone sees us and jumps on board with us and help us promote Donate Life, and hopefully can be up here every week, maybe sometime.
He did a great job.
We'll go to Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
ChrisKnightCatchFence.com for Brian Scott. You wanted that inside line on that last restart, but you had to start on the outside. Did that play any role into the finish of the race for you?
Actually, on the final restart, I was happy to start on the outside. There was seemed to be miscommunication. We were trying to work with our teammate earlier in the race, and I'd picked the outside to try to work together as a team. And then he had to drop to the back, and they didn't call it until we were on the backstretch getting one to go. And when that happened, I wanted to change my lane choice. And it didn't seem like we were able to make that work. I don't know how the rules actually work, but I feel like, especially when there's a penalty on the front row, that shuffles the first two rows. If the leaders picked a lane, they should be able to switch. And I tried to do everything I could do inside the car to signal I wanted to switch, and told my spotter and everybody, and it just didn't seem like we were able to make that happen.
And for Joey, you gave Jimmy Means his first NASCAR top 10 finish since 1987. What did he say to you when you got out of the car?
I wasn't even able to see him after the race. He just told me, great job, and sounded like he's about ready to cry on the radio. So I'm sure he's really happy. I'm sure he's a little bummed we have to put a new body on it, but I think he'll get over it.
All right, we'll continue with questions. Any additional questions? Okay, we'll go to Stan.
I apologize for not asking this earlier, Austin, and I hope I didn't miss anything from NASCAR. You all were able to almost push each other. There was an amount of contact allowed on the front and rear bumpers. Is that going to be allowed tomorrow?
I don't think we can do it as easy like we did today. I mean, the Cup cars, they're a lot more unstable, and the bumpers don't line up as well. These cars have always kind of lined up nicely and are easy to push with. We were told in the drivers' meeting, I went up for clarification at the end of the race. I said, when it gets down to 2 to go, what's the rule? And he said, if you're in a pack pushing us, nothing we can do about it. So we were in a pack. We just kind of separated 4 of us at the end a little bit. But and I think it's just part of it. You got to put yourself in that position to have the opportunity to push at the end, and hopefully you got a good enough car to make it happen.
Any additional questions upstairs? All right, we'll come back downstairs.
Yeah, Brian, this is Tim Despayne with the Pit Stop Radio. Can you touch a little bit on what they talk about when they say dragging the brake to keep from getting too far out in front of the car behind you?
Yeah, you can use it when you're leading, and you can use it when you're coming up on somebody. There's kind of 2 options. You can drag the brake to kind of slow your momentum down, either to not let a huge gap build behind you so they get a big run and they can just split you. And also, when you get a run on somebody, if you hit them too hard, you just kind of shoot them out in front of you, and it's a lot more advantageous to give them a slight bump where you can stay hooked up with them. And you can either drag the brake a little bit to kind of scrub speed while you're still wide open, or you can also breathe the throttle a little bit to try to kind of manage that.
Okay, we'll come over to Jerry, please.
Jerry Jordan kicking the tires. Joey, you talk about you get one season for what these guys get one race. What will this do, the money from this, from this finish and going forward for your team and helping you guys do even better in the future?
I mean, it'll be huge. Honestly, I don't even know what fifth pays, but I can tell you it's better where we normally are, and it'll be big. We just always it's hard for us to keep up with maintenance every week, running every race the full length. A couple of years ago, Jimmy just used to be a starting part, so getting everything rebuilt when it needs to be rebuilt and stuff like that, and reliability is huge. So hopefully we can catch up on that a little bit.
Any final questions? All right. Congratulations on your good finishes.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.